Hi everyone, today we're going to complete our snowflake project. So you should have cut out 5 to 7 different size snowflakes out of white printer paper. As you can see here, I cut out 7. I had a lot of fun. The next part of the project is you're going to pick any color you want, artist choice, 12 by 18 piece of rectangle construction paper. Now you have to decide on the composition. Where do I want to put these snowflakes on the page and how do I want to put them? Well, we know we could put them anywhere we want on the page, but there's a few things we can do to make it interesting. Like number 1, I could have a snowflake actually go off the page. So I can do that. I could have some snowflakes overlapping where they go slightly on top of another snowflake. And I could have some snowflakes all by themselves. So you're going to use your 5 to 7 snowflakes and you're going to come up with an interesting composition. I wouldn't put anything directly in the middle. I kind of like to have things off-centered a little bit. I just think it makes for a more interesting composition. So maybe I'll put this one off the page here. Then maybe I'll move this one over here. Maybe this one here. I don't know. You can keep playing around with it until you decide how you like it. So just remember, have things going off the page, have some things overlapping, some things by themselves, and you don't want to have anything directly in the middle. So I think I got it pretty much how I want it. Maybe here. All right, I think it looks pretty good so far. I can fool around with it a little bit more and get it how I want it. Maybe that way. Yep. All right, so now it's set. Now I really like it. So now it's time to glue. When you glue with printer paper, you should always use a glue stick rather than Elmer's glue. Because the paper is so thin, you're going to want the glue stick. So I'm going to take my snowflake and I'm going to glue it off to the side. I never want to glue directly on the construction paper. It's going to change the color of the construction paper. So I just take my glue stick, carefully put it on a few places. It's really good to put it on the folds. I kind of use the corner of the stick, kind of use it almost like a pencil, like I'm going to draw with it, and get in the right spots where it needs to go. Especially on the tips, you don't want those popping off, or popping up rather. Then I could place it wherever I want, and I'm going to press down and carefully rub the edges so that nothing is popping up. It should be nice and flat. Okay, don't press too hard, it'll rip. Then I'm going to keep going with all my other snowflakes. Again, remember, you're going to kind of draw with the corner of the glue stick as if it's like your pencil. Hold on to it with your non-dominant hand so that it doesn't have a chance of ripping. Go all the way around the edges, and then you're going to glue that down too. So after I finish gluing this, now I'm going to glue it down on my paper. Now this snowflake was going off the page. So we're going to have to do something with it once it's dry. So once I have these all dry, pretend they are, right? Then I'm going to take my paper and using my scissors, I'm going to have to trim off the edges here because I don't want to leave the snowflake like this. I want it to fit on the paper. So if I flip it over to the back, now I can take my scissors and carefully cut really close to the edge of the green construction paper. And if I glued down my snowflake, well, I shouldn't have any problem with that. So I'm going to trim, and now it looks as though the snowflake is going off the page. You could actually use this half of the snowflake somewhere else if you wanted to also, couldn't I? As long as it was trimmed straight. But that we could save for another project. And then I would just keep going. Once you're done, you're going to sign it bottom right hand corner. You could do it with your Sharpie, first initial dot last name, and that's your snowflake composition.